know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 373. Yes, sir. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. My goodness gracious.
There it is.
I've been seeing, I gotta ask, because I feel like Chris has a very strong opinion about this, which is not weird.
Nice.
And I forget where we stand. So after Halloween or after Thanksgiving is when Christmas music can start.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
That's how I've always felt too, but I feel like everything's getting Christmassy out there already.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's been Christmassy.
Because, I mean, like in Home Depot, you know, where I live at.
Oh, yeah.
They took down Halloween so fast, and it was Christmas the next day. They skipped over Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm saying. A bunch of sinners.
Dude, it's Walgreens, it's Kroger, it's everything. Our neighborhood, there were people putting up lights on their house this past weekend. It was insane. But I, as well as my fellow mates here, we believe that Christmas music and everything Christmas starts right around Thanksgiving.
Right after.
After.
Yeah.
Like immediately
after. The day after.
Yes.
Midnight of Black Friday.
There it is.
Yep. All right. Eduardo.
Yeah, man.
How you doing, bud?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Oh, how was Neo or Niho?
Whatever. Yeah. How was that?
Neo was what I thought it would be.
Oh, doggone it.
Which means
Jared Orr commented and said, "This isn't going to go well." Jared knows me.
Yeah, he does.
And we almost made it an hour. And
not even an hour.
Wow.
I went in knowing nothing about the game. I assumed it was just by looking at it. I thought it was going to be a game I probably wouldn't stick with. I thought I would last a whole stream. But it was very tough. I could tell it was going to get tougher, and I knew it would just frustrate me. So after the fourth nonsensical death, I was like, you know what? Let's play Lego Star Wars.
There you go.
There you go.
So it's just super tough.
Yeah, and also just really not my style. I'm not really like a fantasy RPG kind of a.
Is that what it is
in general?
I have no idea what it is. I've never played it either.
I mean, the menu kind of reminded me of God of War, which I loved.
Okay.
I didn't really get far enough into it to really say what it is or isn't. I'm sure
it's very akin to Dark Souls.
That's what I was told. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, thank you.
And like Next. Bloodborne, and it's that style of game. What I don't remember. I feel like, and Ed, you can probably comment on this, if there was some kind of mechanic where, like, if you die, you drop your stuff and you can go back and get it. Is that?
I still had my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. People would respawn, but your stuff was still in your backpack or whatever.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah. I was glad I tried it. It's free on PS Plus. I didn't lose anything. I had fun dying a lot, and that kind of thing. So I didn't mind it.
There you go. Yeah. When it's free, it's not so bad, right?
Exactly.
How's your week been otherwise?
It's been good. Nathan Tapman came over Saturday to play games. To tell you how long it's been since he came over and played a game, we played Borderlands 3. It was his first time playing it.
Oh, wow.
And so it had been a while since he was able to come over and just game. And we had a great time, loved it, a lot of laughs and stuff. And so that was fun. Played a little bit of Jackbox 6 with the rest of the Tapman crew that night. That was a good time.
Quick question about that, because I was asking you, I was texting you the other day about this.
Yes.
What's the lowest number of people you can have to have fun playing Jackbox Party Pack 6?
I mean, you can technically play Murder Trivia Party with pretty much any number. You can even play that one alone.
Okay.
But for the other games, you have to have, I would say, at least 5.
Oh, at least 5.
Well, just even like with Quiplash.
That's what you got in your house.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Gabe.
3
Come
of them
man.
do not count.
Give Remy an iPad.
Yeah.
Even with like a game like Quiplash, where you have 2 people writing an answer, so that takes out 2 people who can vote. And so you want to have maybe at least 3, so not everyone is a tie vote kind of a thing. And it's kind of the same thing with this one.
Dang it.
Yeah, I know.
We have these folks that live down the street from us, and we were gonna have them over. So that would make 4. And you're saying that's not enough people.
We played with 4, and we were able to play and still had some laughs. But every game we played, Nathan would say, "Man, this would be so much more fun when everyone's here." You know,
doggone it. So I mean, so you got to go back to like Drawful and You Don't Know Jack and
and
like
again.
That.
We had a good time, but when there are only 2 people voting on what the other 2 did, it was just kind of like, oh man, you know. So it was still fun. We still had a lot of laughs, but yeah, of course, the more the merrier.
But you need like 8. Would be a real good time.
It's going to be amazing with 8. Yeah.
I can't wait till 400.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, there you go.
It's going to be great. But yeah, Sarah took off on Monday. She is down in Florida. She's got a coach retreat where she treats some of her coaches that she works with to
I
a
thought
week
she
where
gets the treat.
Yeah, so this time Sarah's giving the treat out. So once a year she treats her coaches. What's that?
That's great.
She handing out Pop-Tarts. Oh, here's your treat. Here's a treat. Here's a treat.
I know exactly.
Trick or treat, everybody.
Exactly. So yeah, she brings her coaches down and she rents a big house and they just spend the week there and they, you know, kind of just have kind of like a summit, if you will, of like, what can we do better? How can, you know, good job on what we're doing.
Yeah,
you know,
awesome.
Let's kind of focus in. And so, yeah. And after Sarah is done with that this Sunday, I will fly down to Charleston, and Sarah's dad, kind of like what we did last year, he's renting out a cabin in Hilton Head. And so Sarah's brothers will be there with their families, and we'll spend next week down in a cabin in South Carolina. So it should be a nice little getaway. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's been pretty quiet here at the house, just me and the Batman and the cat hanging out. And
see, the cat doesn't even get a name anymore.
No, man.
Cat.
It's the cat.
The cat.
It's just the cat.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's been a good week. You know, playing some Overwatch, of course, a little bit more of the Outer Worlds, really enjoying that. Got in some Gears 5 with Sarah before she left. And even kind of went back and dabbled in Lego Worlds. There was a sale on PlayStation. I think Lego Worlds was, or I'm sorry, the Force Awakens is what I played after playing Neo.
Nice.
It's like $6 right now.
Oh,
so hopped into that, and yeah, it's been a pretty chill week. Yeah, just kind of, you know, now that Sarah's not here to game with at night, I spend a lot of time catching up on podcasts and binge watching Friends, and just kind of just kicking back. It's been nice.
Okay, and then if you're listening to this day of release, are you stacking up right now?
I am stacking up right now, unless they are like up at midnight when this drops. I'm stacking up starting 8 a.m. Friday morning till 8 a.m. Saturday morning.
Beautiful.
Friday to Saturday, so through No Work Friday stream.
Through No Work Friday, yes, yeah. And
perfect.
So can you give us a hint as to what you will be getting into?
Yeah, people ask me if I had a schedule, and I said I don't like to make a schedule just because if we're having a great time, I don't want to stop at a certain hour and say, all right, sorry, you guys, I'm playing this now. You know?
Yeah, that's smart.
Okay.
That's really smart.
There will be Jackbox Party Pack 6, of course. There will be Overwatch. There will be Borderlands with the Echo Cast.
Yes.
And I'm going to start everything off. I'm going to warm it up 8 a.m.
With Neo.
I may have pre-ordered Death Stranding.
No way, Edward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you?
This is what happens when Sarah leaves.
What happened? You were just talking about on stream. You were going back and forth. Can I guess why you're doing it?
Please.
I think you're doing it to buck the system.
What?
Because I think the system.
I agree with that.
Right. I think in the back of his mind, he's like, man, people are kind of like, there's so many, and we'll get into this later in the show, but there's so many opinions running around that Ed's like, no, I will make my own opinion on this game. You are not going to tell me how to feel, you crazy internet.
And think about the last Kojima thing that he did was Phantom Pain, and he loved it. So
that's true.
Yeah.
It made sense. I didn't know if you were going to play it. I do now, but
yeah,
I would feel like that might be something
I knew he
up
was
your
going to
alley.
play it at some point.
Yeah,
I was definitely going to take a
wasn't
wait.
the question.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But I did. Yeah, I just wasn't quite that shocked. Like I was like, somewhere down the road, Ed will play it. I fully, though, was expecting after I gave my opinions,
right,
that I would be like, okay, Gabe,
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Nah, and then Ed, here's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was I was expecting to wait on was I'm going to see what Chris says. I'm just going to wait and see. And what really pushed me over the edge was, I don't read reviews beforehand. I haven't read any of the reviews just because I'm not swayed by kind of like a conglomeration of numbers. I'll find like one person I agree with and I'll listen to them.
Yes. As you should.
But I heard people saying, the story takes a while to get in. You got to have patience. And I'm like, you know what? I play the mess out of Red Dead. I got patience.
Yeah, you do.
If it takes a while to get into a good story, if the story's worth it, I'll stick around. So that kind of intrigued me. And I was like, let's jump in. Let's not gold edition this thing, but let's jump in for $59.
Yeah, nice, dude.
Yeah, baby.
And then I was like, oh wait, I should have checked Redbox first. I thought of that today.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Oh well.
Yeah,
And I was like, you know what? I'll Redbox Call of Duty and play the campaign or something like that.
That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
I'm gonna do the campaign of Call of Duty. I think
Nice.
mine. And the Mario and Sonic Olympics has a story this time.
What?
And so I'm gonna do that on the Switch.
Nice.
Nice.
Are you doing yours this weekend, Gabe?
No, I wanted to
Okay.
not be on your weekend, so I'm gonna go next weekend on the 16th.
Okay.
The morning, Saturday morning to Sunday morning.
Oh, nice.
So we'll the next weekend, 16th of November.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's great, man.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. That's awesome, Ed. I'm glad to hear that. That's so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm
and
excited, Ed. It's gonna
because
be great.
we're doing it for Stack Up. I really want to talk to Dad and see if he'll stop in and tell his story at some point because it's
that would be great.
an organization
Hey,
that
will
works
you
with
please
vets.
text us if that happens? Because I'm
Yeah,
gonna jump right on if I can.
Yeah,
That'd be
So
so
we'll see if that can work
awesome.
out. But I would love that.
Oh, that's so great, Ed. I'm so happy about that.
Thanks, man.
Christopher.
Yes. So this past Friday, we hosted a party for Miss Katie of Katie and Kale fame because she graduated from college with her master's degree.
Oh, nice.
So we hosted a little master themed party. We had all these different things on the wall. Like we had Master Yoda and Master Chief and Master.
Oh, nice.
And then
so
Kale
great.
gave her this green jacket as though she had won the Masters, and she was walking around and everything. And she's really into, I'm going to butcher the name, the cheese boards, the Chipotle boards or whatever, where you get all the cheeses and you...
Charcuterie or something like that?
Charcuterie boards.
There
yes.
you go.
Nope.
She's really into that. So we had like multiple of those boards with all these different kinds of cheeses, and we had wine and crackers and all this kind of stuff. So a lot of fun. A lot of friends came over to congratulate her and just spend some time with her. And then Kale had been coming in a couple of days right before to help Stacy with getting everything ready and stuff before I got home from work. And we loaded up his account onto Stacy's PlayStation and downloaded Jackbox Party Pack 6.
Oh,
and
nice.
that's what we played when we got to the
Yeah.
gaming part of her graduation party. Jackbox Party Pack 6 is fun.
Nice.
Katie won. She won 2 rounds, if I remember right, of the death murder party thing.
Right.
And then I won the one where you're telling jokes on the ship.
Yes.
I won that one.
Nice.
And then I think our friend, I can't remember who won the next one, but we did the one that's similar to Secret Hitler, where you're on the
Yes. Push the button.
Yes, and they thought I was an alien, and I don't know why, because the other 2 were clearly aliens, and I told them I am not, and so they kicked me out of the ship, and then they all got screwed.
I love that nobody knows what you're talking about.
yeah.
What is the name of that game? I never caught
Push
the
the
name of
button.
it. Push the button. Okay, so there's this game where it's similar to Secret Hitler. So you have to figure out, you're on a spaceship and you have to figure out who the aliens. There's aliens that have infiltrated. And I think there's up to 3. Maybe it depends on how many players that you have.
Yeah. How many were in your game?
We had 8 people.
I mean, how many aliens did they give you?
I think it was 3.
Oh, nice.
If I remember correctly. But basically, you go through all these different questions and everything, and there's a leader, and they pick the people that are going to get asked certain questions, and then the leader changes, and they ask them other questions. And based on these questions, you're trying to figure out who are the aliens. And at one point, you try to put all the aliens in this one corridor of the ship, and then you hit a button and release them out into space.
Yes.
And if they're all the aliens, then the humans win. And if someone is not an alien, then the aliens win. They'll kind of like have a little mutiny thing, and they'll like shoot out all the humans out of the ship. It's a lot of fun. It did take a little bit longer, so we moved on because we wanted to try to get in as many as we could, but I enjoyed that a lot. I would definitely like to play that one again.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, so big thumbs up on, and not that I was doubting that it wasn't going to be awesome, but I'm underlining what Mr. Ed has told us, and Jackbox Party Pack 6 is awesome. And
you're saying it worked well with 4. Was there 4 people, or it was a party of more than that?
No, yeah, we had 8 people playing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that fact.
Yeah, we had 8 people playing, and I think 3 of them were aliens.
Oh, nice. I see what's going on.
Yeah, and they got 2 of them chosen correctly, and then they threw me in there. I was like, no, this is not going to go well. I'm not an alien. They shoot me out into space. I'm a human, and then the aliens rounded up the humans and kicked them out of the ship.
So Ed, let me ask you, because you played it long enough, do you have a favorite game?
I mean, that one's one of my favorites. And it's funny because very rarely has a Jackbox party pack come out where there's usually one game that it's better in person to play. And very rarely do we even play that one. This one is probably my favorite in the pack this time, where it's better to play in person than it is online.
Yes, gotcha. Nice.
Outside of that, stuff at work has been just going in like usual. I did get some side stuff, so I've been doing some photo shoot stuff here at home and editing photos throughout Monday, Tuesday, and then today, and sending them back and getting a few changes that need to be made and reshooting. And so just doing that kind of stuff. On the gaming front, outside of Jackbox Party Pack 6, did Overwatch stuff, got my Demon Hunter skin for that. I ended up buying the Lucio Gorgon skin and then the Demon skin for Orisa, because I never got them to drop, and I had enough coins, so I got those. Still been plugging along a little bit on Apex Season 3, and then been playing a lot of Call of Duty, mostly the multiplayer. I did jump into the campaign, I think, on Monday. I'm not done with it, but if I had to guess, I'm probably like in the last third of the campaign, so I'm probably pretty dang close to finishing it. The parts that I just did were really intense. So,
really?
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, some really kind of like, oh my gosh, like, my heart's like thumping kind of intense. So that was really cool. And then on the multiplayer side, been dabbling with a lot of different things, mostly sticking to the game modes that I really enjoy. I'll throw in a kill confirmed every now and then, and maybe a domination every now and then, but I really like the no respawn modes. I like search and destroy. They have this one called cyber attack or cyber something, where it's basically search and destroy, except you can revive your fallen teammates if you can get over there to them and the coast is clear kind of thing. So it adds just like a little bit of a spin to it. But probably the thing that I've played the most is Gunfight. And I did dabble with it a little bit inside of the beta, and I enjoyed it, but I was like, but we'll see when the game drops how much I'll really enjoy it. And I like it a lot. And basically it's 2v2. It's a best of 6, I believe. And every 2 rounds, your weapons are random, as well as your equipment, like your grenades or whatever you have. And every 2 rounds, they randomize again and change again. Yeah. And the maps are really small. There's no respawn. So if your teammate goes down and then the 2 of them are still alive, it's 1v2. It's got a lot of intensity into it, and it's a lot of fun. It can be also super frustrating, but it's more so than that. It's got me addicted. I definitely want to go back. However, I don't play with randoms. I did that during the beta, and there would be people that just drop all the time. And granted, that could be because it was partially a beta, but I've played with Kale, I've played with Jared Orr, and I've played tonight a little bit with Gabe. Whoop, whoop. Like, I'm only going to play that game with people that I know, but it is a lot of fun. So highly recommend Gunfight if you haven't dabbled. Find yourself a partner and get in there and wreck shop.
There you go.
Play the campaign as well.
Sweet.
Nice. And that's it for me.
Router.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
What'd it do?
Oh, man, we had a great Halloween. So much fun. We had some friends and family over. It was cold that night, but we trick-or-treated for about an hour here in West Haven, and we have so much candy now. It's insane. The Router family were Piper and Lauren were zombie cheerleaders. I was the zombie football player, and it was so much fun, man. I love Halloween; it's great. So I'm trying to eat all the candy before Thanksgiving, which would be nice. But it's just insane. Friday, we headed down to Huntsville, Alabama for our first cheer competition. Well, it's actually technically our second. But
did you boo anybody?
No, there was no booing to be had.
Man.
The booing is over. We ended up staying at a hotel Friday night because the girls had to be ready in competition gear and everything by Saturday at 7:45 a.m. So we were like, screw it. We're going to drive down. It only took like an hour and 20 minutes to get down there, but at least we got a hotel, and then we were up early and off we went. So it was nice and easy. They did a great job. They got in second place again. And now from here on out,
second place out of 2.
You got it. And from here on out, they're competing to make a bid for nationals, which is in Orlando in February. So they did not get a bid this competition. So hopefully this next weekend we have another one coming up. So hopefully they'll get a bid for that as well. So there's been lots of practice. I mean, they are practicing Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday of this week, and the competition is on Sunday. And so we'll see what happens. But I mean, like I said before, Piper absolutely loves it. We're the cheer family now, and that's just my life. And it's total. I'm totally fine with it because she's so passionate about it and absolutely loves it. So it's been great. On the gaming front, man, it is all Borderlands this past week. I bailed on the rest of Overwatch. I just didn't bother because I was so involved in Borderlands 3. After further review, I went back and activated Mayhem mode, and I am never looking back.
Oh, nice. I'm so glad.
That is so crazy because last week you had beat the game and you were hating Mayhem mode. And I thought you were definitely moving on.
Yeah. I hated it for a second because I thought, well, shoot, I'm going to keep dying like this as quickly as I am. I'm going to lose all my money. Oh, nay. What ends up happening is that you can get a ton of loot. Like the loot just exponentially increases. The price for guns is so much higher. So any gun you don't need, you can sell and make a ton of money. Dude, at one point I had like $6 million because I've been like running around. If I die, I just pick like I pay the fee, whatever, and then I run around and get all the guns that had dropped that I didn't pick up before, sell those, and just make my money back. And it was when I wasn't in Mayhem mode, it wasn't fun because these are like level 4 people and I'm level 50, and it's just a one-shot pop, and it's not fun. It's easy, but it's not fun. So I went back in Mayhem mode. I did the Halloween event and finished that in Mayhem mode. Got a ton of loot there. And then for the past, I want to say 4 days, I was working on the Slaughter Star 3000 event, which is basically a 5 rounds of 4 to 5 waves of just enemies. Really? And it could be heavies. Yeah. It's rough, brutal. Wow. The beauty of it is when you're done with the round, that round is saved. You don't have to, if you die, you don't have to go back and start all the way over. However, if you die within the waves, the first 4 waves, you have to start over in that round. So like the first day I got through the first round and then kept dying. And then the second day I was struggling on the second and third rounds. Once I got to the third round, I mean, it was insane. But when you die, you're obliterating all these people and guns are just flying everywhere. And like the floor is littered with guns. So I would take a second before you activate the round to go run around, collect all the guns, and then sell them. Or if I find an awesome gun, then that was my weapon that I used. It's just, it's insane.
Really? I need to see that.
Insane the amount of money you can get. It is insane the amount of guns you have. And so I would just go, I'd collect everything until my bag was full, and then I'd compare all of the guns. All right, well, my pistol that I have right now is better. My SMG is better than this. If I did find something, then I'd switch it, and then everything else I'd dump and sell, make a ton of money, and off we go. So finally finished that and completed it. And so now I'm just moving on to some other missions and just, man, this game is just ridiculous. It is huge. I didn't realize just the scope of how big it is and how many missions you can do and just how much loot there is. And just, it's a loot if you love looting, man, this is probably the quintessential loot game for you. It's perfect. So I'm having so much fun. Like I said, I didn't touch Overwatch, and I probably won't now until probably the holiday event. I've just been so focused on Borderlands and just having too much fun with it. So
I love that you're loving it.
Yeah, man. And I'm so happy. Like, it was kind of killing me. And I'm like, man, I really should try Mayhem mode again because this is just stupid. Like, I'm just popping these people left and right. And so I went back into it and just took a little bit to figure out, oh, okay, well, I'm getting way more loot, getting way better guns. Let's roll with this. And I'm never looking back. It's just great. So that is it for me, Mr. Patillo.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I didn't cry this week.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
Well, we should also tell them that we had a lot of laughs last night, too.
Oh, man. We had so many laughs. Me, Tim, Lim, Bad Gamer Elite, Neebs and his wife, Esther. We all went out for burgers and video games last night, and it was
great.
So much fun. We couldn't believe Lim was in town.
That was great.
We still don't know why he's here.
Right.
Me and Tim were riding up together, and we were like, all right, when we get there, we're asking Lim what he does and why he's here. And we never got around to either of those questions.
Still don't know. Yeah. It was a conference of some sort, and that's about it.
But Lim, it was
funny.
so good to see you, buddy, and hug your neck and talk over burgers and laugh loud and heartily. And then obviously with the Neebs family, they're good people. They're just such good people, man.
They are.
Just so nice people to be around. I know Neebs hops into Ed's stream a lot. Neebs and them, we don't have this as a story, but I'm just gonna mention it.
Mm-hmm.
To whomever it was, and I don't know how I'm gonna end up paying for this in the future. To whomever it was that DDoS attacked Extra Life on the day that people are donating money for children's hospitals.
Yep.
There's something wrong with y'all.
Yeah,
and
man.
If this wasn't a family-friendly-ish podcast, I would let you have it. Honestly, I would use all the words. I would use all of them. Because it's the worst thing ever. Like, what do you get? What do you gain from that?
I was thinking about that earlier this week because even if you're like in like the hacking community where you brag about who you hacked,
yes,
the Extra Life website isn't like it's not like the most coolest, sleekest it's not like you're trying to hack into Chase Bank.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I feel like if you were a hacker, it might be easy. I don't know. But I'm like, why would you even brag about that? That's like me saying, hey, you guys, I hacked into our local hardware store's website.
Yeah, or it's like I broke into my grandmother's house. It's like, well,
right.
Yeah, she was probably awake and didn't hear you either.
Right. Yeah, I just don't understand on any level why it seemed like a good idea.
Yep.
I mean, it infuriates me at a level that like, me and Tim were talking about it, and I was like, I don't even have the words to express why somebody would do that. Like, I get that people do stupid things. We see it all the time where you're like, I wonder why you would do something. Why would you try that? But like, to attack a website that's raising money for children in need.
I mean, I get that you hate to wait in lines and you want the express lane to Hades, but
exactly.
Gee whiz.
Oh, I mean, man, I don't get it. But to say we're talking about the Neebses and how amazing they are. And one of the things that makes them amazing is they did their 24-hour stream already.
Yeah, they did.
And because of the DDoS attacks, they are getting back on Extra Life this weekend and playing another 12 hours.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's so
great.
cool of them. I mean, that's good people right there.
That's good people right there. That should be a punch and a freaking kick in the nads to the people that tried to do the DDoS attacks. Like, you will get it back to you. And
karma is a coming, brother.
But I just
karma
know
is a coming.
And I can't wait for justice to be served. Speaking of Extra Life, we do want to do an update. Our goal was $10,000, and even with the DDoS attack, we've raised $5,309 so far. Thank you guys so much. We still have some team members to go. I'm still going next weekend. And so I'm going to be definitely sending out texts all over the place. We really want to hit this $10,000. We're losing Ed this week to Stack Up, which is awesome. We're so glad he's doing Stack Up, but he won't be on Extra Life. So that's that's one of our arms getting chopped off. And so please, if you can, go donate to Ed's thing this weekend. Stack Up is very important to him. It's very close. It hits very close to home with his dad being a vet. And stuff like that, and then come on back to Extra Life next weekend, and we'll try to send out some tweets for the people that are part of our community. They're going to be doing that. So, and
definitely let us know if you're out there and you intend to do it. Like and we don't have you listed, like we can list off everybody next weekend that might be doing their Extra Life.
Yes,
we'll definitely spread the love so people know when you're streaming.
And because we are, because we've been in the weeds, we are going hoodie, shirt, mug. First place, second place, third place. And so, man, $10,000. We're halfway there. And we've had a bunch of people stream. And so we're over the moon. Thank you guys. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. Seriously.
I really wanted to burst out into living on a prayer, but I didn't.
You said
we're halfway there, and I really
there.
Almost did it, but I didn't.
Yeah, you should have followed your heart on that one, probably.
Yeah,
that's right.
Know.
Probably.
Yeah, probably should have. So yes, we got to hang out with some of the community last night. It was so awesome. And then I've just been home, man. So I've been doing stuff around the house. We had little kids' birthday parties this weekend, and it's just been.
You feel like things are kind of getting a little bit back to normal?
Yeah, things are slowly getting back to normal.
That's good.
What's weird is that like tonight we should have been doing a show, and like so like that kind of stuff still, or we should have left tonight. I think we were supposed to leave last night. Tonight was like the production rehearsal night, and then tomorrow night would be the first show of the theater tour. And so there's a little bit of me that's like that. I'm looking at my calendar and seeing nothing in November, and I'm like, man, that's weird, and man, it sucks because the reason that
the
we're not
reason
out.
why.
And so they have tacked it on to the end of, I think it's going to be April and May. We're making these shows up, and so it's just a little weird, man, and it feels a little weird because we're on what they call retainer in the music business. It's like musicians sometimes when you're in a band get paid a retainer. And so you don't go play for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, hey, sorry, I got to go do this thing with Donnie McClurkin for the next 2 years. And so it's just weird kind of getting paid to be home. And I don't like that. And so like, I called management yesterday. I was like, is there anything I could be doing?
Right.
Like, put me to work. I'll do whatever.
That's good work ethic for you, brother. I applaud that. But also keep in mind that like teachers are the same way in the summertime. Like they still get paid, and they're not teaching kids. But you're gonna trust me, you're gonna make that up. Probably come April and May, man.
Go be on and freaking popping.
So you will certainly make that up. But I applaud that attitude. I think that's great.
Yeah, and so I've been like just trying to dive into voiceover and do that stuff, and just try to keep my chops up with just performing and things like that. So yeah, it's been crazy. I'm trying to think. I beat Astral Chain today.
Hey,
nice.
How was it?
I'm 2 games out of 5.
You got this, man.
You got 2 out of 5. No problem.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping Extra Life brings another 2. I'm gonna count. If I count Mario, if I do Mario in the Olympic Games, and that's that story. And then if I beat the story of Call of Duty, then that's 2 more 2019 games, because that was the resolution, was 2019 games. And if I don't get there, then I'll count Apex Legends because I got all the trophies. I did as much as you could do.
Oh, there you go. Game. That's definitely beating a game.
Yeah, I got all the trophies.
Hey, Ed, if you don't do all the side missions, you think you can move quickly through Borderlands 3?
There's no way, right?
If you don't do the side missions, I think
he just main missions everything.
I think you'll find yourself under-leveled.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Good point.
That makes
very good point. Dang it.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But ooh Lord, I'm nervous about it.
You got it. You got it, man. You got it.
I know. I was thinking about doing. Well, this doesn't help, but I don't remember when Shenmue comes out. I thought it came out this year. Shenmue
I don't think
3.
that it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Shoot, man, I don't know now.
Shenmue 3 is supposed to come out on November 19th. So
Well,
that'll
there you
be 2 days, 3 days after I do the stream. And
Of
Shenmue
course.
will be a longer game, I'd imagine. But I was thinking about doing Shenmue 2 on the stream because it will be a Saturday. So I can Shenmue Saturday.
Hey,
nice.
And get that in there. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. We got it's 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? There's Milo fell out of chair last year, and so
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
anything could happen, baby.
That's right.
For the kids.
Yeah,
It's all for the kids.
Exactly. I was like, can I actually get some of that money back? My kid got a concussion.
That's amazing.
Oh shoot. Dang it. There was something else I was gonna say. I just can't remember what it was. I should have wrote it down.
I was glad that you guys got to see Lem and Neebs and those guys, and I was also glad, Gabe, that you shared that video of Router sort of playing Beat Saber.
Yeah,
I was playing.
he was
Beat
like
Saber.
the most bored Beat Saber player that's ever existed in the history of existence.
I was, dude. Listen, I was full into it because that was my first
If
VR
that's your into it
experience.
face.
That's your full into it.
That's your full
For those
into
of you
it.
who are just listening,
I
I
mean-
seriously thought he was playing VR sorting silverware.
It was VR twist. You know, just doing the twist a little bit.
Is VR twist only your wrist slightly?
I didn't know you could move that slightly and play Beat Saber.
I know.
Well, when you have the Oculus Quest, you can.
Yeah,
It is
man.
unbelievable, guys.
Yeah?
Oh, like
I
that
want
was my
it so
first.
bad.
That's my first experience. I came home and I'm like, babe, I know what I want for Christmas. It was insane. Like you do not have to move like all over the place to like, it was so responsive. And that's it. Me being in that boring pose, I was still hitting things left and right. I don't know my score. I was too busy just like in
Slicing
awe
and
of
dicing.
everything. But it was so responsive and so easy to. Oh my gosh, it was
Does
insane.
it have the Quest? Does it have like for the audio like built into the headset part?
Yeah.
Or-
Yes.
it does. Okay.
Yeah,
It feels like there's a speaker at your forehead because it was
Right.
like we could
Oh, wow,
hear it
okay.
outside, but it was really
yeah?
quiet. But then when you're
Yeah.
wearing it, it feels a lot louder.
So
Yeah,
is
exactly.
there
Okay.
is that the only thing, or is there a way to
There's a headphone jack.
plug in like a headphone jack
Oh,
if you
yeah,
want to use your?
yeah, you can
okay.
do
But
all that fun
the
stuff.
fact that there's no guys, I want one so bad.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Now
That
Oh,
thing
Lem,
was
curse you.
awesome. Oh
It was
my
am-
gosh.
it was
Was
amazing.
it somebody that was there with you guys?
It was
or-
Lem's. Lem brought it.
Oh, it was.
And
Lem
I
brought
think
it.
that was one of the things that was so attractive about it is like he's just wearing a regular backpack and here he brings out a visor and two things and you're like, this is it. And
That's
you're
it.
like,
That's nice.
what?
Visor, 2 controllers. That is
Yeah,
it.
I actually really thought about it too when it first came out. I was like, I can't really justify it, but I was like, I would for Beat Saber alone. And then
Dude.
that Vader Immortal game is right now only on Rift and Quest,
Oh, really?
and it's episodic, and it's like, man, I'd really like to play that.
Listen,
Mhm.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I might get it for Beat Saber alone. Like seriously, only because like to me, because I'm out in the shed and you know the kids and everything, there's so much like to do to get the VR up and going here.
mm-hmm.
The fact that that
Right.
could be just sitting on the counter and you just put it on and hold the
Yep.
things and you're playing Beat Saber, dude.
We were talking about it in the car, like how you could sell your VR, get half the money for it, and it's like we
Can
had
you
a
plug
whole
it into a
business
TV?
plan for you.
So
Yes,
what he
I think so.
had was it doesn't plug into a TV, but to my understanding, he could, and it wasn't working because I think the place that we were, the Wi-Fi and everything was acting up. But you can cast it to your phone, and then his phone he had plugged into the television
Right.
HDMI. And so there's some way that you can have it to where other people can enjoy what you're doing, but I wouldn't imagine that it would be. I wouldn't imagine the timing would be on because
But the way,
it's
like
already in
for
there.
me, the way I see it, like that would just be sitting right next to all my other controllers, and I can just pick it up and play.
Yeah, but
And
you
I
can
don't
take
care
it anywhere.
anywhere. He was trying to look up something while we were driving back to the hotel.
Yeah,
he put
he
it
had
back
it on.
on,
Yeah.
and I think the motion sensors got all screwy and stuff. But it's like you can pick it up and put it anywhere, and the next thing you know, you're playing whatever game you want. It was
Wow.
amazing how simplified yet awesome it was. And Gabe, you tell me, like between the PSVR, like as far as the quality, like you guys seem to think that it was
Dude,
pretty close.
It was the same thing, bro.
really.
Yes,
Wow.
it was like I was so surprised how responsive it was. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Did he
well,
have
this will be
anything else besides Beat Saber?
We didn't have time to do anything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just curious because Beat
I know
Saber,
he was-
like you said, it's even on PSVR. It's super responsive, and that's great. And I love hearing that that's on Quest. I wonder if that game is just like so dialed in wherever it is. I wonder if other games have any issue or not.
Well, and the thing
guess
with
I can
Beat
ask Lynn.
Saber on that is that you can download other songs as well.
Yeah.
And so, like,
Ugh.
what song did you do, Tim?
I did Gorillas, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
And it was awesome.
Yes, I did the Final Fantasy 7 something or other song.
Do you mean like you can just load on your own, or are you talking about like in a store they have other songs? That
I don't
aren't
know
available
how
in
he put
other
them on
places?
there.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said
okay.
that there was like a site that they made custom Beat Saber tracks.
Yeah, because I know
could-
that you can do that on PC. I just wasn't sure how it works on Quest since it's just the headset, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
load them in, just side load them.
It's all done.
There's
It's
a
all it's all
USB-C
done
on the
through your
side.
app.
That's awesome.
It was
And isn't
insane.
it the way that it works on Quest? Isn't it like there's so much space on each one, and you can get like, oh, the 64 gig one, or isn't that how it
Yep.
works?
There's a 64
Yeah,
gig and a 124 gig.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Ugh,
But there's not like
so-
a slot for a memory
SD
card.
card or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder how big the games are typically for some of that stuff.
It was
Interesting.
it was amazing.
That's
That was my
awesome.
first VR experience, and thankfully it was Beat Saber. And man, woo,
I couldn't believe how smooth it was, you guys. Honestly.
it was.
I couldn't
That's
believe it.
cool.
It was awesome.
I don't even know how it works. Still, I still don't know
Yeah,
how it works.
right.
It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the future.
Speaking of being impressed with new, I guess not new systems or whatever, but I watched Frankie playing Luigi's Mansion 3 this week.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the first time I've seen a Switch game where I was like, I think I'd like to play that.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it
That
about
looked
it?
like, I don't know. It just looked like a lot of fun to play, you know?
Really cute.
And very cute, and you get to vacuum up everything in sight. And
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
it seemed fun.
I hate to say it, but Piper on her Christmas list already has a Nintendo Switch on there. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
Really?
okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I might need to stay
Let's-
upstairs with Daddy.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, we'll probably just play Mario Kart and that's it. But
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but I
But-
think they put the Jackbox games on there too. Did they?
Yeah, they did.
I believe it went there. I know they had some there, and I believe 6 went there.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
awesome.
a lot of games. All right.
So much fun.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking this front half.
Yeah, I like it.
Tim,
Yes.
you got it.
Yes.
Well, let's do it.
All right, new releases. Here we go. I'll go quickly. Black Sad Under the Skin for the PC, PS4,
Wow,
Xbox,
what? No.
and I have no clue.
What in the world? No, I'm not.
That's
We're
what
just
it
gonna
said
keep-
under Gabe senior picture.
Yeah, black, sad, and under
Black
the skin.
Sad Under the Skin. Is it Black Sid or Black Sad, or it's one word? Black Sad. Black
Oh.
whatever.
Oh, that's totally different.
Black, but it would still be pronounced Black Sad. Black Sad, right?
Oh,
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyway,
Probably
that's
not.
out. Grip Combat Racing Rollers versus Airblades Ultimate Edition for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Just Dance 2020.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
man.
PS4, Xbox, Switch, and Wii.
Can't
That's
stop,
funny.
won't stop.
Yep. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 for the Switch.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Need for Speed Heat, Origin Access, EA Access. Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for the PC, PS4,
Come on,
and
y'all.
Xbox One.
Oh,
Really?
come on, y'all.
Really?
Really?
Definitive?
Do we need a definitive edition?
I didn't even finish it. So what do we need a definitive? edition?
Nice.
Wow.
You
That
like
was
that?
pretty
You
good.
like that?
That was
See?
good.
See?
I'm
Look,
not
see?
mad at that one.
All right, cool.
No, every now and then the old man go go find his
Old
cane.
man, I got me a bag of tricks. Construction Simulator 2
Oh Lord.
console edition for the Switch. Chris, Death Stranding for the PS4. Just
Yes,
in case you didn't know. Very,
And
very
coming
curious
to
to
the PC in 2020.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
curious what your thoughts are on that. So please keep us posted on that.
Will do.
Disney Zoom Zoom Festival for the Switch. There's one for the kids there, Gabe.
Yep.
Need for Speed Heat Did I already say that? No. Need for Speed Heat for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and new Super Lucky's Tale for the Switch. Let's go back 24 years ago.
There we go. Now we're talking.
November 5th, 1995.
You were 20,000 years old.
Wow. You know what, Chris? I hope Death Stranding sucks for you. There, I said it. There, I said it.
That's fair. I mean, come on. They were making jokes about you like creating the Earth not too long ago. Come on.
That was just so out of left field. That joke was waiting in your freaking closet for when you went and Gazzo and punched you in the neck. He's like, "Hi, y'all for trying to get a shirt."
That's right. Oh, that was good, dude. Well played, sir.
Gosh,
well played.
That was a random shot fired. It was. That's who the commander was talking to Chris. He's like, "Don't shoot till they see the whites of the pow." Chris is like, "No, I'm shooting now, baby."
Yep, exactly.
That's just like a doctor, like, we're going to do some LASIK surgery. And Chris is like, I got a shotgun.
I got this.
Yeah.
Hold my beer. I got this.
Oh my gosh. It's like
so
as
random.
if from nowhere.
I know, right?
That's 20,000.
That's when I was 20,000 years old.
20,000 years old.
Amazing.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Oh, man. Chris is the word ninja.
BC's not before Christ, it's before Chris.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
that's
it
how
was.
that goes. All right. 24 years ago, November 5th, 1995, for the PlayStation, Twisted Metal. came out.
Wow.
Good one. It's a good one.
Right?
That's a really good one.
12 years ago, November 5th, 2007, for the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Oh,
Nice.
so good.
And then on the Wii, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn came out.
Oh, yeah. People love some Fire Emblem.
And then 6 years ago, I thought this was interesting. 6 years ago, November 5th, 2013, for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Nah, I didn't like that one as much.
Oh, yeah. I liked Ghost.
I liked it okay, but it was like on its way to, it wasn't Modern Warfare. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the part where you had to
That's
do
true.
the pottery, that was just weird.
It was weird. I was like, why are they playing this song?
Demi
Like,
Moore makes an
"Oh,
appearance.
Pennies
It's
just
really
floating
weird.
at you. You're like, oh, God, another penny.
My darling.
Well played. That was good. That is it for me, gentlemen. Back to you.
Chris?
So
McCracken.
last week.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Well, I didn't know there was more after the Chris part, and usually I'm like, yes, and I'll wait for it. So I was trying to switch you up this time.
Tim was
I didn't know you had more
20,024
coming.
years old.
I was 20,001.
Would you like to go again, please?
No.
No,
Okay.
keep
Go ahead
going.
and get to it. I didn't realize you're so excited.
Well, we did a lot of talking about Overwatch 2 because in that time it was all speculation
That's
and
right.
rumors and leaks.
Yes.
BlizzCon happened over the weekend and we got some official information.
Me and Ed went to
Yeah.
BlizzCon.
Yeah, kind of. At least virtually.
I'm going to do a mashup of all of our joking all through that thing. And just
There
do
was
the
a lot of
jokes.
it.
There was so
There
much
was a
joking.
lot of it.
Do it, man.
He called the president the janitor.
We had to fill time. We had an hour before they got to Overwatch.
That's true. Oh. Go ahead, Chris.
I want to see the mashup. I'm looking forward to
know,
it. You
I'm
text
gonna
me
do
when
it.
that thing's up.
I'm going to do it.
All right, man. I believe you. So we learned that there is going to be the PvE missions, which had been kind of leaked and talked about. That's going to be probably, if we're speaking honestly, the main push of Overwatch 2 is the PvE missions.
You mean the only push?
There's going to be, well, actually, tie that in with there's going to be a new game mode called Push.
Yeah,
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, so, and that one in particular looks like those games could take forever.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's
man.
basically
Agreed.
it's a robot that pushes a payload, and you either push a red payload or a blue payload, depending on which team you are. And so if the red team is pushing the payload and they get to their checkpoint and then they keep pushing it and then you kill them all, you have to walk the robot all the way back to the neutral spot and to your payload and then push your
Yowzers.
payload.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sure it's going to be time based, and my
Yeah, it is a
thought is
time-based.
that it is okay,
Yeah.
good, and then it's just whoever has their payload the furthest. If you don't make it
Correct.
to the end, okay,
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you make it to the end, it's an automatic win. But yeah.
No, nice.
Okay, good. That's really nice because I saw that and I was like, that looks like it could be fun, but that looks like that could take
forever.
forever to do.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Yeah.
the competitive version of that would be.
I think just
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
Maybe it's
I mean,
just
maybe
that
the
game,
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because usually in competitive, don't they have like the you know, like if with the payload ones, especially, it's like, oh, you get it this far, and then the other team gets a shot, and they get it just
they have to get it further or wherever.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess this would just be the game on this one since you're both moving the same payload. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's more like even more like the capture point ones where it's they captured it so far that they got 100% first or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Who pushed it further on their side? Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. What they said in the one of the panels is that in most of the internal playtesting they did at Blizzard, that very rarely does someone even make it to the end. It's usually the time is up.
That.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. Okay.
Carry on.
Continuing on.
Sorry.
In the PvE mode, you will have talents that you can do, and you can level up your characters. And as you level them up, you unlock different talents. So you can spec your character differently so that they have different abilities based on whichever mission you're going on and what you're needing to do. I'm assuming, and I don't know if they covered this because I didn't get to watch a lot of the BlizzCon stuff. I've only been reading. I think that you can choose your talents, and then that's the talents you have for the entire mission. I don't think like at checkpoints throughout you can switch them for different encounters.
I wouldn't.
I would assume that's right.
Yeah, so I think that's the way it's going to be, but it will bring in new elements to the game. However, the talents and the leveling system are not coming to PvP, which was something that I was concerned about because part of the leaks had been like, oh, we think that these talents and the leveling system might be coming to PvP. So that is not going to be a thing. So I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, that's great.
And then the other thing that we learned is that everything coming to PvP, which new maps, the new game mode, the new heroes, are all also coming to Overwatch, the current version.
Vanilla.
Because that current version is going to continue to exist, and people from Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 1 are going to be playing each other. So they're the same PvP pool of players, all playing the same heroes and maps and everything. And this was not confirmed, but there's at least some talk and speculation that it's possible as well that the visual upgrade, which Overwatch 2 is getting a slight tweak to all the visuals in the game, that may also be coming to Overwatch.
Oh,
and
really?
I never saw that confirmed anywhere, but that I saw that mentioned on several different sites and places. And so I'm not sure if it was like a question asked at one of the panels and it just kind of got hemmed and hawed and didn't completely say. I'm not exactly sure, and if you decide that you don't like the visual upgrade inside of Overwatch 2, apparently you can turn that off to where it goes back to the original look in Overwatch 2. Ed, do I have that right?
I believe that's what one of the guys said at the panels.
Okay.
I could be, and like you were saying, even with the cosmetics going over, apparently at one panel, a Blizzard guy said one thing, at another panel, a Blizzard guy said the opposite. So anything could change because they're not even close to being finished yet.
Yes.
So
that is another thing, is that we did not get a release date. In fact, at
or
one point,
window.
I don't know the exact quote, but it was Jeff Kaplan said something to the effect of he expects to be talking about Overwatch 2 and it not having released by next BlizzCon as well.
yeah.
So that's a whole nother year from now. And one other thing that they did make mention of is that all of the cosmetics that you've earned in Overwatch 1 will carry over and still be there for you in Overwatch 2.
Yes.
Which is another really good thing, because I was like, man, what if you lose everything? That's going to be a bummer.
Stink.
Mm-hmm.
So now it comes down to why are they making an Overwatch 2?
Exactly. That is precisely.
It now really feels, even more than when we were just speculating before, that this really should just be a PvE expansion and kind of call it good. Because another thing that was kind of under the leak, or was being leaked, and people were saying, we think this is a thing from our inside sources and blah, 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 was that Overwatch 2 is being built on a brand new engine. And it is not being built on a brand new engine. It is a modified version of the Overwatch 1 engine. So it is different, but it's not brand new to where it justifies like completely retooling everything. And the fact that the PvP is going to be the exact same regardless of which game you're playing it on, or version of the game, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is going to exist.
Yeah.
Except
I don't either.
to maybe make a few bucks.
Well,
and that's the other thing. Like, what's the price point here? Because if
I'm very curious.
If it's like a whole new game,
well, here's the problem. This is what I'm the most worried of. If it's not coming till holiday 2020, then that means it's coming to the PS5 and Scarlet as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm worried is, I understand that Overwatch 2 players can play with Overwatch 1 players.
Yes.
Does that even mean people on a different console can play? Like, if I have a PS5 version, can I play with the PS4 people?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now we're getting into
Because now you're
console.
Because they really were big on not splitting up the community.
Yeah.
And so have we ever had something like this that straddled the consoles to where one played on one and one played on the other and they were playing together?
His Destiny wasn't that way, right?
No, it was not.
I don't remember Destiny being on PS3.
It was.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mm.
That game's old.
So here's what I think, and this is, I could have sworn that I read somewhere that got touched on, and then I tried to go back and find where I read that, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm going to be like, I must have just made that up completely in my brain. However, this is what I will say. The fact that they're still working on Overwatch 2, and they've never given, or they had to this point, they haven't given a release date or anything. We have no idea. It could be another 2 years for all we know. And something that they did say way early on was that they were interested in the idea of crossplay for Overwatch 1, but there's a lot of work to do that. And then, of course, back then was when almost nobody was really doing it except a few games here or there, and Sony wasn't on board and blah, blah, blah. I would be willing to bet one of the things that they're going to try to make happen is that when Overwatch 2 does launch, that they will enable cross-play. And because I think if you think about it on the PC side...
You're talking about cross-generation, though, or are you talking just about cross-play?
But hang on. So what I'm telling you is, if you think about it on the PC side, like it's not really a generational thing. It's Overwatch and Overwatch 2.
Yep.
So that only exists in the console area. But the fact that the PlayStation 4 and the 5 and Scarlet and Xbox One are all basically just little PCs in their architecture and everything, I think they're just going to be like, look, you just play Overwatch, whichever version of it you have, and all the PvP pools in the same spot. I think that they're going to try to not think of it in that way. And Jeff Kaplan made mention before when he was kind of talking about this, he was like, we're trying to redefine what it is to be a sequel. And so I think that that's how they would get around that if it did indeed took all that time to get there, because like you're saying, there's not going to be a huge pool of people on in the next generation. But I think a lot of this crossplay stuff is helping to just eliminate the thought of generational play, at least in terms of like for a PvP kind of thing. I think that could work. I don't know technically why that wouldn't work, especially if the game's 1080p or a little bit higher at 60 across all the platforms. I don't know why it couldn't be any different.
So the one reason I bring that up is because I think that's what's going to push it to be still a $60 game.
Yeah.
I don't know that they'll sell a $30 game on the PS5 at launch.
It's just, like the fact that you not only get a new story mode, but then it's new hero missions for every map. Like that's a lot, and each of those includes, cut scenes and full animated intros and outros and in the middles and stuff like that. So,
because I'm with you. I mean, I'd love at first glance, you're like, definitely, why are they doing this? Like, it feels like the most greedy thing on the planet. But if it's what it seems like, it's hard too, because you're like, don't let these story modes be as fast as the ones we've been playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you want them to be substantial or it feels really pointless. You know what I'm saying? I think that we talked about Junkenstein's Revenge being the longest one out of the ones that we have now, and that's not long. Yeah. And it's on just one part of a map, which I know they won't do that. I think it'll be, way more in depth than what we have now. But, story mode, hero missions, that's the biggest draw, right? I don't even know if the talents are a big draw or the new look is a big draw for anybody.
No,
you're not buying it for either of those.
I think the talents will be fun, and I think that'll get me to play a lot of characters I don't usually play, but I'm all about the story stuff and the hero missions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too.
And so, but I think for guys like us that, have no problem playing Overwatch 1, you're like, all right, $60, like, back in there. And I'll pay it, of course, but I would love to pay 30. Yeah. For sure.
Here's the other thing. If this is a year, 2 years out, aren't we going to have some Overwatch burnout during that time? Like, wouldn't you statistically think that the amount of Overwatch players will drastically increase or decrease just because they're going to be waiting too long for this, or people are just going to be tired of playing Overwatch for a little while.
They've already decreased. I think that's
people
why
are already tired of playing Overwatch. Like Overwatch has had a huge dip in its numbers, which I think is part of the reason they were like, oh, we got to reinvigorate. People have really wanted more story stuff, and this is definitely bringing that.
And a 2 will do that. An expansion won't do that as heavy as a sequel will.
That's right. Yeah.
As far as
from a marketing standpoint,
wise,
yes, I hear you. But I mean, the people, I feel like the majority of the people that are still really into Overwatch really know Overwatch. And it's like, I think they see through all that. It's like, yes, I want this story stuff. All you had to do was sell me an expansion, a PvE expansion. And then going forward for like new people on, let's say, if they're not going to do the whole cross-generational thing, if it's only going to be on this, Scarlet and Xbox, whatever it's going to be called, or PlayStation 5, then you just say, okay, you can buy Overwatch, which has existed for 4 or 5 years by this point, and it's $30. And if you want the PvE expansion, it's another $30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, granted, I understand they need to make money, and I got no problem with that. That's not. I don't take issue with the capitalist like, hey, let's do a thing. But it's just you could have just kept selling Overwatch and expansions for that, the way that WoW does. I mean, I don't understand why you don't just do it that way. You've already done that. You're Blizzard,
right?
And it was successful.
I thought it was really cool just because in an interview with Kotaku, Jeff Kaplan was talking about Blizzard had to fight with Activision to be allowed to say, we want to bring over the people from Overwatch 1. We don't want to exclude them because Activision has, like Call of Duty, every Call of Duty, it's a new one, and they had to, I guess he was just saying the struggle to convince them, let us include the people. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We'll give everyone from Overwatch. And apparently it was a fight to let Blizzard be allowed, for a lack of a better word, to even do that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm hoping that it comes quicker than
I hope
holiday 2020. Only because I don't want to be caught in the middle. But if it's what Chris says, and PS5 people can play with PS4 people, and Scarlet people can play with Xbox One people, and then maybe everybody can play with everybody if they get cross-platform figured out.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope. That'd be really dope.
Yeah, it would.
Like I was saying before when I played the beta, and me and Chris talked about it tonight, I love the little icons popping up saying that you're playing against somebody on a PC and you're playing against somebody on an Xbox. Let's get it on this Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? I love that. So we'll see. All right. We got a sad story, man. Kid named Jarvis.
Yeah.
Jarvis K. He's a member of FaZe, which is a Fortnite team. And he was making some videos, and he was like, hey, check out this aimbot that I got. Isn't that hilarious? This aimbot, guys. And then Fortnite was like, you're banned for life. You can never play the game ever again. And so he made a video, and I watched the whole video, and it's actually really touching. Like watching this kid like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been actually banned from Fortnite for life. And he kind of like is explaining what's going on. I was just trying to make some content for you guys I thought you guys would think was funny. I never thought of the repercussions of it. And they've banned me for life. And as he's kind of explaining that part of it later in the video, he actually breaks down and he's crying. And he's like, I don't even know what to say. And this, that, and the other. And look, man, I'm all for cheaters getting their thing. Like, hey, you can't professionally play this game anymore because we don't know how you a lifetime ban from Fortnite.
Right.
That's way too heavy-handed. You can't ever play the game ever again because you used the aimbot once. I can't get behind this one, man. I can't get behind it. I can get behind them kicking him out the clan. I can get behind them saying you can't make no more money playing this game in any of our tournaments. Right. But a lifetime ban, like if we just compare it to any other sport, like how do you get lifetime bans? You know what I'm saying? We got PEDs happening all over the place. That's the same thing as aimbot. Like I'll give myself an advantage over the average cat.
Yeah.
You get like a couple games.
Right.
Lifetime. I couldn't get behind this one, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
A lifetime. And me and Chris were talking about it before, and it was like, I actually don't even know what they're trying to do here. Is that for everybody ever? Like, if Gabe downloaded Fortnite and I was going to play some Fortnite and I was like, I suck at this game, obviously, I'm going to use this thing where all I have to do is hit the 3 button and it builds a whole house. They're going to give me a lifetime, I can never play Fortnite ever again? Doesn't that seem a little lopsided?
I mean, Mike Tyson chewed a guy's ear off and he got banned for 15 months.
He got to finish that fight.
Right.
It's not like they even stopped the fight in the middle. They were like, okay, he bit his ear, it's bleeding, pat that down, and let's finish this fight.
Right.
That's right.
This story, one of these stories I was looking at was saying that Fortnite Pro XXIF was caught cheating during the World Cup and was given a 2-week ban.
What? See, that's...
During the World Cup. So this is the problem. It's the same problem that Blizzard went through a couple weeks ago. This thing's growing at such a rapid rate that they don't really have rules yet. They don't have rules in place. They don't know how to. They're just dealing with it as it comes. And so they're like, Jarvis with a lifetime ban. You're like, y'all have not thought this through. You know what I'm saying? We've had, just as we've watched football, for those that are fans of football, and how you can't even like blow on the quarterback anymore. And it's like, oh, yellow flag. Because they're kind of making the rules up, and we've seen football, grow over decades of playing this game.
Yep.
And I think that because of rage culture and because of our knee-jerk reaction and because these companies can implement these things so quickly, most of us know that not any decision, but a lot of decisions made quickly have a better chance of being the wrong decision.
Right.
I don't know. What do you got? I mean, 2-week ban for, this kind of anyway, I don't want to get into anything political, but it just feels like a little lopsided to me.
I mean, especially since you have the comparison of a guy who was actually caught during an actual tournament, where this guy was just at home streaming saying, hey, check this out. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. But to lifetime ban somebody who's so involved in your game, so he's such a proponent of the game. It's like, no, like I think that's a little overboard. It's too much. I understand the point that they're making, but you're also going to lose a lot of people by doing this. And look at the backlash from Blizzard. Like they're still trying to save face from some of that as well. So I think everybody needs to ease up a little bit, and really, if you want to hit them in the pot in the wallet. Like okay, you're banned for 2 weeks from making any type of ad revenue or anything on any of our products. That makes sense. Hit them where it hurts. Like don't just.
That's
ban
what
them
I think.
Yeah, hit him where it hurts. Hit him like if this guy's making money hand over fist.
I mean, I think it hurts now. I mean, he's making a video crying about it. I mean, like literally, not. I'm not making a joke. I'm saying like,
no, you're right. Yeah,
I mean, so this hurts.
It definitely hurts.
Chris, don't you think they'll lift this, right? They're not going to hold this.
They'll lift it. Look, I am the same way. Like there is definitely something to be said about. Fortnite is, the most popular game in the world, played by the most people or whatever. And this is a popular person playing it that is basically showing other people how to cheat in a game that breaks the rules.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's spitting in the face of the developer.
Ban the guy
for
or suspend him, however you want to phrase it, for like 6 months. Even a year I wouldn't have had an issue with necessarily.
Right.
Yep.
Even though I feel like that had been kind of strong, to be like, okay, but a lifetime ban? Oh, come on, that's just silly. That especially when it's so disproportionate to other bans that you've dealt out. And look, if you like slap his wrist, give him his 6-month ban or whatever like that, and if he ever does it again, bam, lifetime ban. I don't care. I have no sympathy if he ever cheats in any other way, shape, or form again.
That's right.
The second time, ban him for life. I don't care. But first offense. Because the kid's video was convincing. I believe that he didn't realize that's a whole nother issue with these problems is like, you've got to really make sure that people know what the consequences are. Because a lot of these people just think that he just thought he was making a silly, funny video like ha ha.
And he's not even hiding it.
Yeah. And he did not know that he was, which he should have known, but he didn't know. And so it's like, all right, a lifetime ban makes no sense. Come on now. And yes, I think it'll be lifted or he'll be out for a couple months and then they'll be like, oh, well, we're glad you learned your lesson. You can play again.
And he's got to feel like a brother can't get a warning shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
Yeah.
You can't be doing this, especially on stream. You're going to be encouraging other people to do this. And this is not how we want our game to be played.
Because take it from someone who's played a lot of older Call of Duties and when it moves on, but you still want to go back and play the Call of Duty that you really enjoyed from last year, and the servers are already infiltrated by everybody doing every kind of hack known to man. Like hacking ruins a game and will completely destroy it. It absolutely does. That's so right. It's not something to just scoff at, but at the same time, come on, lifetime ban no.
And how do you uphold that? How does
I thought of that too? Like
Jarvis not just get another Gmail account?
Yeah,
download.
I don't know how that works.
We run into Smurf accounts in Overwatch all the time. It's like, okay, lifetime ban, but is it like, do they have his IP and you can even get around that? I don't know.
Yeah. You change computers and change location. I mean, I just don't know if there's a way to police that. Like, lifetime ban, you can't ever play our game again. Is it now? If you can't ever play it under his name again, like I get that, but like I don't know how you keep up. That's like Gmail. It's like anybody, Facebook or anybody being like, "Sorry, lifetime ban, you can't be here anymore." It's like, oh no, I think I could be there again.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I can't stream it anymore. This is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which does hit him in the pocket. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but lifetime ban is a little ridiculous. What else you got, Chris?
All right, so we alluded to it earlier, but last Friday, the embargo was up for people who had played Death Stranding and were reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we also got the information that Death Stranding, which again, Gabe alluded to earlier, that it is coming to the PC in 2020, summer 2020, I think. Something like that.
Yep.
So really, relatively speaking, not
really
that far
quick.
away.
Yeah. Fast.
Yeah. And one thing that we haven't heard is speculated that it might be an Epic Game Store exclusive, but we don't know for sure where it's going to be at the moment.
Okay.
So we'll wait and see where that's going to be. But yeah, the reviews came out and they are everywhere.
They are all over the place and strongly all over the place.
That's so funny.
And so I think
it's why Ed's playing it.
The last time that I checked, the official Metacritic has settled right in around 84. Which is a pretty good score. And I'm just going to go over a few from several different outlets. So GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10. Gaming Age gave it an A+. EGM gave it a 5 out of 5. God is a Geek gave it a 9 out of 10. Destructoid gave it an 8 out of 10. Game Informer gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
US Gamer gave it a 7 out of 10. IGN, probably one of the biggest, gave it a 6.8 out of 10.
Wow.
And
so
VG247 gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
IGN was the first one I saw, and I was like, no way.
Yep.
IGN was not the first one. Actually, the first one that I did see was GameSpot. They're not. I was like, oh, here it comes. They're all going to just roll in now. And then I see IGN, I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a horse of a different color right there.
And that's what's so interesting about gaming. And I mean, it's the interesting thing about reviews, period, right? Is that somebody can give it a 9 out of 10 or a 5 out of 5, and then somebody else can give it a 6.8 out of 10, which I wouldn't want my game getting a 6.8 out of 10. That sounds not good, especially, and I don't know if it's just because I watch ESPN or because I follow Kojima on Instagram, but they feel like they are pushing the crap out of this game. I feel like I haven't seen a game pushed like this. Maybe Gears 5 was the last game I saw, which I know was recent, but like I don't remember a game being pushed this hard. I remember, Days Gone I would see around, but like it feels like every commercial break on ESPN. This show's brought to you by Death Stranding.
Really?
And it's just so hilarious to hear them even say the name because it seems like they have no idea what they're talking about.
I mean, there's billboards, there's stuff all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, Kojima is flying everywhere and doing panel after panel after panel.
He's everywhere.
They had the art behind Death Stranding, I think, last night, and Troy Baker and Norman Reedus and all these guys are there. And I mean, they're going for broke on this one like it's the best game ever. and it got a 6.8 at IGN.
Mm-hmm.
But a 9.0
Yeah.
at GameSpot. What do you think? How are you feeling about it, Chris?
I have no idea.
No.
I mean, I know I've watched reviews. I haven't. So when it comes to the written reviews, most of the time I don't have time to read them all.
No,
So I will
video
scroll
review all
down to
the
where
way.
the score is, but not so much for the score, more because usually they have like a pro and a con. Like this is what we really like. It like a Cliff Notes.
Yep.
Like this is what we really liked. This is what could have used some work, or what we didn't like. However they wanted to phrase it. And so I was reading those. I was like, okay, all right. And then I was just like, you know what? I think Jared Orr said it on our Discord. And actually, Ed kind of alluded to it earlier as well, that I did not like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Right.
And it feels like, based on the information that I've seen and the stuff that I've seen and the words I've heard from people on several video reviews, is like a lot of the same things that I didn't like about Red Dead Redemption 2 are going to be part of this game.
Well, all right.
So, yeah. Which, honestly, immediately when I saw that, I was like, okay, then I'm going to wait till I play it first, because this is at the time when I didn't think Ed was getting it, or at least not anytime soon. And I was going to be like, I do think this is going to be something Ed should play at some point. Whether or not he'll like it, I don't know, but I think he should play it. I am literally only giving this a shot because it's a Kojima game, and because I have to, because it's, I just am a big fan.
Right.
If it were not a Kojima game, I probably wouldn't even give this a try.
Yeah.
Just based on what I've seen, even though I'm super intrigued by the game overall, I still probably wouldn't do it. And I'd be like, you know what? I'll watch this on someone's, Ed stream, or now that I know he's getting an Ed stream or someone's stream or YouTube or something. Right. I'll just get caught up in the story, but I have to give it a shot, and and I'm going to do it anyways, because I got the thing coming in on Friday.
Right.
So
what are some of the things that stuck out to you when you were watching? Because I'm the same with you. I'm not going to read a review, but I will watch the video reviews of them. It's just more entertaining to me. What are some of the things that stuck out to you that you were like, yay or nay on? And same question to you, Ed, since you pre-ordered it.
I mean, this is a serious question, and I'm not trying to be silly here. Should I say anything? Because I know tons of people are like, I'm not even reading reviews or even watching the trailer because I want to know nothing about this game.
Well, we just said all the review scores, so that's going to ruin those people's time.
Well, but I didn't tell you anything about what the game is. Like, I'm not explained anything about the game.
Well,
like, I can tell you exactly what I. What?
I don't feel like the video review people were able to explain it either. Like, it feels very exact. It feels like what I thought it would be, except I didn't know it was going to be so heavy on. It looks like a lot of errand running.
Where are your expectations right now, Chris? Have they been lowered?
That's a good question.
That's a hard question. I don't know that they've been lowered, but okay, so if somebody wants to know absolutely nothing, just move on ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
For like a couple minutes. So here's what I'm going to say. We kept watching review, at E3, we would watch it at these other times, and we're just like, okay, we'd see all this crazy stuff that would happen with these monsters and all this other stuff, and you're like, okay, cool. And then you'd see like these little gameplay clips, and it's Homeboy delivering his packages.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, cool, yeah, but when are we going to get to, that monster stuff that we saw, and is there any kind of combat, and if there is, when are we going to see that? And you'd get little tidbits, but then it'd be more packages, and it's like, okay, but the game's not just delivering packages. This game is just delivering packages.
It is. It looks to be just delivering packages.
That is what it. No, that literally is what it is. You will run into the BTs at times, and there's definitely, from a story standpoint, there's other elements that I don't even know because I kind of skipped away on all those parts, so I don't know all those specifics. And there's definitely things that happen that way that are supposedly super interesting. But 90% of this game is getting from point A to point B,
walking.
And how you make your connections that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is literally one of the games where it feels very similar to Journey, where before I played Journey, people were like, "Oh man, the way that the multiplayer works and how you just run into people and everything, it's really gonna like hit you, like, oh my gosh, this is a really important game." And I was like, come on, it's just these cute little guys flying around with carpets around their neck, whatever. And I played it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it actually really did. The way that worked really kind of touched me and was like, oh my gosh, it really spoke to me. This game is either going to really speak to me, or I'm going to find it the most boring, tedious thing in the world. And I don't know which way it's going to go down.
Here's what's so interesting. Every review has said, and if you've skipped forward, keep skipping if you don't want to hear anything about Death Stranding. We're still talking about it.
Yes.
Every review has said it is errand running the whole time. However, there are these glimpses of brilliance that you just got to get to.
Yes.
And so you're like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, how is it boring, brilliant?
Right.
Boring, brilliant. Boring, brilliant. Boring, brilliant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really do feel like this game, if you're the type of person that likes to check off lists and...
Yeah, right.
Like if you liked No Man's Sky, and if you like The Sims, and if you like these other things where you have to build things and you have to check things off and go and those, if that kinds of stuff is your jam in games, this game is all that, and you're going to be blown away and you're going to love just that aspect of it. Then there's the whole crazy Kojima story side of it. And then there's the whole BT stuff and the few encounters where there is boss style stuff. But it's most of the game, vast majority of it is go from here to there, drop your package off, and you probably will have to return to take a different package to a different place.
Ed?
Like, that's literally what the game is.
Ed, how are you feeling about this whole thing?
What?
You've not been listening.
I was literally watching another video because I didn't want to hear anything.
Oh, okay, good.
Ah, shoot. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
That is so funny. Okay, good. So Ed doesn't know. Tim's not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. And
yes,
Chris is
yes, I'm absolutely
ready to play
playing it. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So if you can stop skipping forward.
And Ed, you can turn off your video.
It's off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or you keep watching if you want to. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has officially become the best-selling fighting game of all time, passing Street Fighter 2, which I didn't know still held the crown.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't either.
From 1991.
Really?
Yeah, that's insanity.
Wow.
Street Fighter 2 had sold 15.5 million copies, being the best fighting game of all time. This is what's crazy. In December, when Smash Bros. Ultimate first came out, it sold 11 million copies in the first 3 weeks, which just shows you, video gaming was still very much in the arcades when Street Fighter 2 came out.
Yeah.
So, there's obviously that big difference. But the fact that Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Almost got there in the first 3 weeks is crazy. And now they've surpassed it at 15.7 million. And it doesn't seem like anything Nintendo is planning on slowing down, especially with Christmas coming. It's got another huge bump because of the light switch and because of the longer battery, or the promised longer battery. Also, just for some other numbers for some comparison, Super Mario Odyssey was 15.3 million units. Zelda was 14.5. And then Mario Kart 8, why it stays in the top 10 every single month, is 19 million copies sold.
Wow.
That's just a bunch, man. Oh, it's a bunch. So congratulations to that old Smash Brothers.
Right?
Selling over 15.7 million copies. I was one of them.
Whoosh.
Do you guys have a favorite fighting game?
I'm not much
Chris,
of a fighting
favorite
gamer.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Well, I know I'm not a fighting gamer either, but I have a favorite. And I think it's Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is so great because the level for entry is low, but it's deep.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
We the other day at work on lunch break, there's a Switch at work, and they fired up Smash Brothers, and they have all these different Pro controllers, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand what's going on the screen. I can't follow it, and that's not a critique on the game. It's like, but I just looked at it, I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. There's things and glitzies going all over the place. I was like, you guys, when y'all want to play Mario Kart, I'll just stay back here and watch, because I could not figure out what's going on.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just don't get it. But I understand that why it has appeal to people, and I'm sure, like you said, you can figure it out quickly. But as a newcomer, I was just totally intimidated. I was like, if it was Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or something, like, okay, I can figure that out.
Yep.
But this was so foreign. I was like, I don't understand even what's going on the screen right now.
Wow. That's crazy. So do you have a favorite fighting game?
It's hard because it would either be Street Fighter 2 or it would be Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh,
I don't
Mortal
know
Kombat
if
2 was
one would be
so
one of the
good.
two. I don't know which one I would like
Oof.
better. I like them both for different reasons. So.
Yep. Tim, if you had to pick a fighting game, which one would it be?
Back in the day, I played a little Double Dragon. That was fun.
That's not a fighting game.
But that's not a fighting game, is it?
No.
So
That's
there you go. There's my knowledge of fighting games.
Exactly. All right, Ed. Sheesh. Name a fighting game, please, before we get canceled as a video game podcast.
I don't have a favorite. Usually what happens is when a new Mortal Kombat or Injustice comes out, I'll go to YouTube, watch like what the fatalities are, and then I don't think about it until the next new one comes out.
That's hilarious. So with Smash Brothers Ultimate coming out, it also became the best-selling fighting game series ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so since the first one came out on the Nintendo 64 in 1999, as a series, they've sold over 53 million copies, which is just crazy. Yeah. And they say in this story, it says in comparison, total sales for Tekken, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat, those games, they all fall between 45 and 47 million. So this is in the lead big time. So that's crazy. Yeah.
Nice.
Crazy. Edward.
Yes, sir.
What you got for us, bruv?
Well, over on the YouTube channel, we've got brand new. We've got a little less than an hour of Neo.
Yeah.
Check that out for yourself. We also have got The Outer Worlds Part 2, and we've got Gabe and me reacting to the entire BlizzCon opening ceremony and just the Overwatch 2 section portioned out for you, so you can check those out as well.
And soon coming, just the jokes.
For real?
Oh, nice.
I might as well, right? It'll be funny.
I mean, you said on the show, now you have to.
Oh, snap.
It's true.
There
is that
we
it?
go. That's it.
No new reviews?
Sorry, man.
Oh, shoot. Hey, girl, what's your number? Ew. Okay, never mind.
Let me refresh just to make sure, but
let me refresh this make sure.
Maybe one came in.
Oh, look at that, a new review.
Let's see, the ratings and reviews.
Yep. Oh,
Sort by most recent. Hold your breath there. Nope. Nothing since September 25th, 2019.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Lem.
Yeah. Thanks, Lem. He was the last one. What took you so long? Also, just this is fun for me. There's a little game coming out on the phone called Plants vs. Zombies 3.
What?
I can't wait.
Nice.
I freaking love the Plants vs. Zombies games. Oh,
did you like the second one?
I did. I don't think I beat it though,
because it was so different from the first one,
right?
It
was very different, but it was free and it had a lot of ads.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that part.
Yeah, and they were definitely pumping it. Like, hey, you sure you don't want to buy this? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. They're like, how about this? I'm like, still not. How about now? No, I said. Thanks, Edward.
Yeah, man.
Every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, how much longer do you think that we will see consoles being released as we know them now? How many more generations do you think Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo will do? Starting over on Twitter, we had a lot of answers to this question. I like that.
Yeah, that was nice to see.
Yeah, people feel invested in this one. Derek Putnam, at Derek L. Putnam. I don't think consoles will ever go away entirely. Ooh. As you said, streaming could be the future, though. Internet speeds could be blazing fast everywhere, but the real bottleneck is data caps. 1080p video is 1.5 gigabytes an hour, and 4K is 7.2 gigabytes an hour. Ooh. Better hope you don't have to download a game. Seriously. Mark 2 at Toofus. Sony and Microsoft will both release one more console, and then we will move to a streaming box, with the first one being a hybrid where some of the heavy lifting is done locally and some is streamed. Nintendo will continue making consoles and continue to be a hit or miss. Well, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Pink and Blue 360 at Pink and Blue 360. Heavy research and development and manufacturer costs combined with massive investments in cloud tech does suggest that they will move away from consoles in their current form. Although that won't stop Ubisoft from releasing Just Dance 2030 for the Wii.
In 2040.
Yeah. That's so perfect. Thank you, whoever you are. Pink and Blue.
That's awesome.
Dallas at Dallas Robbins. As long as people keep buying them, they'll keep making them.
Yeah.
That's a thought. Yeah. Over on Facebook, we got James Stribling. I think at least 2 more. And it also depends on the new media, on what new media will become prevalent. Years ago, we had no idea of, prevalent.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I kind of like that, though.
Prevalent.
Thou shalt not come prevalent.
Prevalent. Oh. Did I mention that audiobooks take me forever to do?
Double Dragon.
Years ago, we had no idea about Blu-ray disc. Sorry, there was no
There
E.
you go.
Yeah, sorry.
There it is.
Oh my
just joking. I didn't know that one. Blu-ray disc. So there could always be a more efficient physical media that that consoles may implement. Sorry, now I want to do it on every word. Employment. In terms of streaming games too, a lot of countries like Australia, where I'm from, just don't have the infrastructure for it. So I don't think streaming will take over anytime soon. That's very true. We have looked at this at a very American lens.
Yes.
Right.
Kenneth Ferguson, PlayStation and Xbox don't want to be the next Blockbuster Video. Cloud gaming, next gen for sure. So much hate on Stadia. In 2 or 3 years, this will be the norm. Goodbye, GameStop. Wow. He must live in a metropolitan city.
Yeah. He lives in Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Clay Chapman. I believe we have one more generation after this new one, but it will look very different. I think Stadia is a glimpse into the future. Consider the fact that most
cosplay.
Konnichiwa.
Cosby
sweaters.
It's good. Consoles.
Prevalent.
Sell at a loss for the first several years and the harder push for selling games via subscription. I think the last console generation will be always online, cloud-based vessel for digital games, no physical media. The IPs will have to change to accommodate this too. Not only game streaming in, but also streaming out to Twitch and Mixer. It will be very different. All right. Before my mouth dries out, Discord, Calm Fury. Consoles have a very long tail in many international markets. Until those markets get internet that can handle the bandwidth of video games, I see the need for physical media to continue. To a lesser degree in the States, EU, etc., as we move more digital, of course. So, a couple more at least.
Yeah.
Say it with me, Hollywood Bones! Hollywood Bones! Nintendo, he should have changed his name for that for Halloween.
Halloween Bones?
I think he did.
Halloween Bone. Owns. Yeah. Nintendo is crazy, and they always are ahead of the curve. But I see them making consoles for kids forever. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah.
I think Sony will continue to make consoles for many years to come. Let's say 60 years. Xbox is going to make one more console, the Scarlet, and that's it. I do not think they are going to make it out of the next generation alive.
Wow.
Ooh. Wow. Really, Hollywood Bones?
From I assume he means just from a hardware standpoint.
Right. That's what I
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Not after buying up all these game places. They don't have to keep making video games. That's for sure. All right. Trev Dog. I think Microsoft has a couple more systems in them over the next 10 to 15 years, but I'll agree they'll probably will be the first out of the console game. They've very well positioned, thanks to their recent studio acquisitions, to put out an unrivaled level of high quality software. I see Sony being the major holdout on consoles, but Nintendo doesn't always behave rationally or conscientiously.
Conscientiously, environmentally.
Constantinople.
They say that Microsoft is in position to put out an unrivaled amount of quality games?
Unrivaled level of high quality software. I see Sony being a major holdout on consoles, but Nintendo doesn't always behave rationally or consistently. I think consoles will last at least another 2 generations with everyone, though. Game streaming is an interesting idea, but it won't be viable everywhere for at least another 5 years, and it won't be preferred for another 3 years beyond that. I, for one, want consoles to hold out for a good long while now. Even as someone with a monster PC, I go to different platforms for different things. Also, the constraints of more specific consoles spur smarter development. Ooh-wee. So what we've learned is if streaming don't pop, we gonna need these consoles. And the way we've been viewing streaming is very American and very metropolitan.
Neapolitan.
That's what I was looking for. Neapolitans.
Metropolitan. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for the answers to the questions. We appreciate you guys so much. You know where to find us, facebook.com/married to the games. Come join the group, the MTTG community group on there. It's great. Twitter.com/MTTGcast, like Ed said, youtube.com/married to the games. Marriedtothegames.com. We got a store. If you want to come grab a hoodie, a t-shirt, a mug. Now we got some stickers. We got skins for your controllers.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy some Christmas gifts for that gamer in your life that you're like, you know what? You love me, but you're also married to the games. You know how to brand them, baby. Brand them fools. On Patreon, if you'd like to drop $1 in the bucket to say thanks for being here, we'd appreciate it. And Ed is going to be on Stack Up. He's going to be stacking up.
Stack up.
So he's going to be on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ed Placencia this weekend. Go show your boy some love. He's a good streamer anyway, so you need to follow him while you're there.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Use your Prime membership to subscribe to him. And donate to Stack Up. Tell us a little bit again about Stack Up, Ed.
They support enlisted military and vets, and they do a variety of things, but mostly their focus is to support those that are struggling with mental issues and suicide prevention among those people who serve.
Nice.
And they love that, they do what are called Overwatch, where they and supply drops where they'll send a big tub of Xboxes and PlayStations and games to them out in the field.
Oh wow!
Or they'll take them to like E3 or things like that.
Oh wow!
Oh, it's awesome.
And they also have a very strong suicide prevention focus as well.
That's awesome.
Amazing, man.
I love that. And if you want to still hop on our team for Extra Life, it's extra-life.org/team/MTTG. Like we said, we are halfway to our goal. It is not too late to hop in there and do your playthrough. Remember, you don't have to do your 24 hours all at once. If you want to do 12 hours one day and 12 hours the next day, it's just all about these kids and raising money for the children network of hospitals. Children hospitals, the network of children's hospitals. There's children's hospitals that need money, and we gonna give it to them. That's how we go.
Children's Miracle Network.
Children's Miracle Network of hospitals.
There you go.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today, the talking has been hard.
That's all right, man. It's all right.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Getting there.
And Tim.
Ratty US on E2NES so we can Learn about Pihon Edix.
There you go.
I like it.
Oh my
There it is.
gosh, thank you. Yes. Oh shoot. Well, let's get into some questions.
Hey, we got an email from Omar Elmo Kashafi.
Ooh.
He's a new listener, and I think we answered one of his questions last week, and he had a follow-up. You can always email us, mailbag@marriedtothegames.com. He said, hey, guys, I wanted to give a shout-out to you guys again for bringing me into the community, and again to Tim for getting my last name right.
Nice.
My question is, how would you recommend convincing my wife to play games with me?
Ooh.
I'd love to get her into Borderlands. Ooh, yes, please.
Yeah. That's a
P.S. Tim,
deep jump.
a couple months ago, I think you had mentioned something about a therapy thing for your little one to get her eating right. How's that going? My 2-year-old won't touch anything that's not potatoes or chicken nuggets. Dude, that's called the toddler diet.
Yeah,
Welcome aboard, sir. That's pretty much how that goes. Yes, Piper is doing a food therapy. Her pediatrician had told us, hey, she needs to get more fruits and vegetables, get more variety in. And so we've been doing it. And it's definitely going well. I think she's learning a little bit more how to explore foods. She's still particular about some foods, but aren't we all? So it's just one of those things where I think we're coming to the close of this program. And I think she's definitely learned a few things and what to do as far as exploring food. So it's been going well. So I don't think you're quite there yet. I mean, they're only 2. And so just give them a little bit more time but keep an eye on it, because that's exactly what happened with us too, where, she wouldn't try anything, any new foods. And, if she's not getting nutrients and things that help her grow, and, that's an issue. So we shall see. But back to the original question, how would you recommend convincing my wife to play games with me? I'd love to get her into Borderlands.
That's a big jump.
That is a huge jump.
Mm-hmm. It's a big ask for just jumping into gaming.
Yes. I think some boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands. Some will jump in that deep quick.
Yeah. Yes.
But I haven't seen that happen often. Mm-hmm. It's not,
right. And especially with Borderlands.
Yeah, and everybody's not Stacy McCracken.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I play this game, and now I play Overwatch all the time. Like, I feel like she dove headfirst into Overwatch and was doing awesome. And, she had played, Overcooked and things like that. And what's that? Keep Alive Till Death? What's the
Don't Starve.
Game? Don't Starve. And it continues.
Keep alive till death.
Keep alive till death do us part.
Yeah. So man, I would try to find something that's more up her alley, even if it's not up your alley, to start with.
Yeah.
Yep.
And work your way to Borderlands. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. And let her watch it for a little bit to see if that would even excite her. And if it doesn't, it's, find something else.
You'll be able to tell.
Yep. You will definitely tell.
Ed, you got any tricks? I mean, Sarah plays a lot of stuff with you.
Yeah. I would say to start with something that, Jackbox is a great gateway drug,
Yeah.
If it's something that you can play with friends and you're laughing and you're having a good time with everyone and everyone's talking and pointing and laughing. And that's a good, if you can instill like good memories like that from the get-go, that's a nice way to go.
Chris?
I mean, unfortunately, I don't know that I really have an answer, because Stacy was the one who came to me and said, I'd like to try that Overwatch game.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
And I thought she was joking with me, and then she wanted to try it. And yes, we had dabbled a little bit with Overcooked here and there, and she kind of liked that. But when she wanted to go head first in Overwatch, I was like, okay, we'll see how long this lasts, and it's still going.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's true. Ed, how did Sarah really get into Borderlands? Did she just watch you for a little bit and was like, I want to try
what the
that?
Heck?
I mean, she grew up playing
She had
playing
brothers or
Halo,
something
and she was a gamer as a kid, so that definitely helped.
Oh, okay.
And then the fact that there was a couch co-op, that was the clincher, really.
Oh, nice. So she could play with you. So it's and it's not necessarily about what the game is. Like if you're having fun together as a couple, then that's probably more important to her than the actual game. So that's really cool. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Tim would love to try to answer this question, but he has no idea. He's not been able to accomplish this goal.
Not one bit. Not at all. So we're going to move on. Thank you, Omar, so much for the email. Appreciate it. Moving on to Discord. Skinny Matt, at what point does the hype build up for a game last too long so that it ends up only creating, I love this, anticipation? That's a great word. That's a nice Scrabble word right there. Anticipation. So at what point does the hype build up? I've got to say, The Last of Us 2 is kind of doing that for me right now because we've waited so long. We've gotten little glimpses of it, and now it's delayed. I'm a little like, this better be good kind of a thing. And like, because it's been such a huge game and such a hyped game, it's kind of making me a little nervous at this point.
Did you have those same nerves for Last of Us 1?
There's no expectation yet, though, for Last of Us 1.
That's the thing. Yeah, the expectation was just there.
Curious
the hype was there.
When it got the delay and everything.
The hype for Last of Us carried me through the game, and then once I played the game, I was in.
Gotcha.
To me, I think this is different because now the precedent has been set.
Yes,
right.
That's what I was just about to say. Precedent is the big factor for me.
Like, and now this is like the sophomore slump, typically, so it's like, are you going to deliver now? Which I'm also happy that they did delay it because take all the time you need to make sure that this is the way to go. Everything seems to be in place that screams this is going to be an amazing part 2. But because of that hype, yes, everybody has all these different theories. Everyone continues to talk about it. So I don't know what the point is where the hype build up for the game lasts too long, but I mean, it's obviously been a very long time for this game.
I think that it's all about. So here's the hard part. When there's hype for a game that you've never heard of, that's different than hype for a game that you're expecting to be good.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
Yes,
because when the first Destiny came out, you're just excited because it's something you haven't played before and it looks really cool. I was so hyped for Destiny 2 because of how good Destiny 1 was that it made Destiny 2 almost, now I don't think it was as good a game, but even if it was as good, it's not as good because you want it to be better than the first game. And so I think with The Last of Us, because of the first one, you're like, hey, bruv, the bar's already way up here. And so I think it's just so different with each game. No Man's Sky and the hype behind that is just going to be different than a sequel for something that's already beloved by people.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think you find yourself between a rock and a hard place, and it's just so different with each game. Ed, what do you think?
I think you shouldn't announce your game. You can only talk about a game for 2 E3s. The first time is it's out next year. The second time is it's out later this year. Any more than that,
I like that.
I don't like the fact that The Last of Us was announced in the 40s. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. On Tim's 19th birthday.
On my 19th. No, jeez. There we go. Yeah, no, I totally agree, Ed. I think
Ed, that's perfect. 2 E3s.
You just, you lose so much momentum after that, and it's hard to kind of rebuild that hype. So.
Yeah, think of Final Fantasy VII. Like nothing can live up. Final Fantasy VII cannot live up to its own hype because it was announced 5 years ago.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're going to get that. What was the word? Hype appointment or hype disappointment?
Anticipation.
Anticipation. Yeah, you're gonna kill yourself. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot.
Yep. Chris, what do you think?
I like Ed's 2 E3s. I would maybe extend it to 3. I'm fine with 3.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be
That's
mad at you
so
with 2.
long.
But I mean, it depends on how it's done. If their first showing of the game is some crazy long cinematic and then even like some tidbits of a gameplay, and then it's like each time they're showing more and more where you feel like, oh, this got to be done around the corner, and then it takes forever, it's fine. But I don't know if it's just because of the way that I've followed games so many years now. It's like when I see that first thing, I already expect, okay, 3-4 years down the road, we're getting that. I don't, that's why Fallout 4 was such a shocker, because it was like, and it's coming out in November. It's like, holy crap. I don't believe that
place
kind of
went
thing.
nuts.
Yeah. So that was insane. I mean, I'm excited for The Last of Us 2, but I don't feel like I have an overwhelming sense of excitement that can't be matched or anything. Like, do I think it's going to be better than the first game? I really don't know. I mean, that first game was so solid that I'm not going to be like crazy and wowed if it's like, oh, it couldn't quite get to the same spot. I kind of almost anticipate that. Yep. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that was a really good question. Shep Dog, taking a cue from the Sift Pop podcast, what's the one thing in pop culture that you're excited about and you want to share with others? Mine would be a fiction novel called Sith by Neil Shusterman that's filled with weighty philosophical questions revolving around selecting those who should be selected for death for the purpose of population control in a world that has conquered hunger, disease, war, and death. That's really interesting. What's the one thing in pop culture that you're excited about and you want to share with others?
This is going to sound so stupid.
Sweet. Yes. Bring it on.
They're doing a prequel to the Hunger Games. And
they are?
Yeah, they're right.
Like in a book?
A book.
Oh,
that's coming out. That's going to be, I don't remember. I want to say it's like 65 years before the original one. I mean, before the ones that the ones that came out. And so I'm actually excited about that. I flew through those books, really the first 2, and then the third one took me a little bit, but I really liked that series. I was like okay with the movies, but the books I really enjoyed. So
nice.
I'm excited about that. Edward?
Lisa Loeb has a new single out.
Oh my God.
Okay.
How is it?
If you like Lisa Loeb, you'll like it.
It's no Dido. It's no Dido.
It's no Dido. It's Lisa Loeb.
That's really funny.
What?
That's hilarious.
That's really good. I was just going to actually broaden this and just say, I love video games. Not everybody is, but I always get excited and want to share that love with others like we do on this podcast every week. So I kind of went more broad than very, very specific.
Chris?
I mean, I'm kind of boring in that I'm just really excited for episode 9. I want to see how it all quote unquote ends and
very true
and finalizes the story. And that's around the corner.
Yeah. Did you buy your tickets yet?
No, I have not yet.
I bought my tickets.
I don't think
Yes.
I don't think for any of them I did the whole super early buy thing. But I see it sometime the week of.
I'm going on Thursday, the day before, whatever the release day is, the day before. At 7 p.m.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Oh yeah, at the IMAX, baby.
Ooh, IMAX.
And I've been what we talked about earlier. I've been 0 frames with it pretty much. So I think I saw that first teaser where she did like that backflip over the whatever that
was awesome
speeder thing was. But after that, I didn't. So maybe I'm 3 frames.
Yeah.
Nice. As you should, man. Just keep it that way.
That's what I'm trying to do, man. I was with some people the other day that were really excited, and
they start getting into it.
Yeah, they were like, "Let's watch the trailer." I was like, "Yeah, let's watch the trailer." And then I'm just trying to like look everywhere but at the screen.
Oh, you got to watch the trailers though.
I mean, he didn't.
That's 0. That's part of being
I haven't
0
seen
frames.
them either.
Well, yeah.
Man, I watched the trailers. I read the spoilers. I watched the videos that go over the spoilers.
All I've done is watch just the trailers. That's all.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it. I'm like, perfect, great. That's all I need to know. We'll go right in.
There you go.
That'd be great. Beefmaster Soda, if you could time travel and change a world-defining event, where would you go? But what new happens because of your change? Man,
I don't know, man.
I know, right?
I say that world changing event has got to be a big one.
World defining event.
I want to. I heard, this is just rumor. I heard that like a guy came up with a water-based engine, and then that GM bought the rights to it and then killed the project.
Ooh.
And I wish that wouldn't have happened, and then we'd have cars running around on water.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were probably in cahoots with the gas companies.
Well, yeah. Heck yeah.
No,
Same reason that freaking Teslas are getting keyed all over the place, even though they have a bunch of cameras on.
I know, right?
People are getting arrested. It's hilarious. Like if you're gonna go key a Tesla, wear a mask. There's cameras recording all the time.
Right.
Chris?
I would stop the meteor or whatever killed the dinosaurs, and today I'd be riding around on a raptor as a pet.
Oh, nice.
You think we'd be able to tame those things?
I mean, we'd figure it out.
Man.
Somebody's gonna figure it out. You're gonna break a few eggs along the way, but yeah, that won't get made.
People go get their heads bit off along the way, but
break
after
That's awesome.
Golly.
Blue, it's me. Yeah, I love that, man. That's perfect.
I never saw those movies. What say you, Edward?
I would go to day 6 of the creation of the world and say, hey,
what's up, Tim?
Ease up on them sharks.
What's up, Tim?
Oh, what's up, Tim? Nice, Chris. Yeah, boy,
Happy
you
4th.
are on fire tonight.
Oh, okay. Ed, go to day 6 and do what now? Say what?
He's up
I'm
on
just
them
still
sharks.
God. He's up on them sharks.
Oh yeah, good. And what would be the result of that or whatever?
I would not have an irrational fear of sharks.
There you go. Nice.
I want to go to day 3 and see how like evening and morning happened before the sun was made.
Ooh.
Be like, the sun wasn't made till day 4, but we've had morning and
there you
evening.
go.
I guess it's just light.
Interesting.
Just as humans, I guess we need a source. I guess if you're God, you don't need a source for light.
Tim.
That was pretty good. Tim, what say you? Besides you eating the apple and ruining it for
the
everyone.
day we decided to have Chris McCracken as a host, and I changed it to Lem.
Oh, man.
Shots fired, baby. Let's do this.
Have Lim instead. That's hilarious.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Oh
No,
my gosh, that's so funny.
Chris, dude, I love that. You're on fire tonight. Honestly, I don't know. That's the first thing I came to mind. So let's just keep going.
Funny.
All right. Facebook, Austin Phillips. What kind of combat do you prefer in RPG games? 1, you get ambushed by 4 enemies and you immediately think, how long ago was your last save? Pee a little and then fight for your life.
Yeah.
Or 2, you ambush a horde of enemies and skillfully slay an entire army with a smile on your face.
I like the surprise fights.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Yeah.
Where you're just walking around. When I started playing RPGs where you could see your enemies and you have to like walk up to them, it kind of took the excitement away instead of when you're just walking around and all of a sudden it's like when this screen twists around and you're in a fight all of a sudden. I like that better.
Dead Space had a ton of those. Like
really?
everywhere. Basically
That's how Dead
everywhere
Space
you
was?
go, like they would just come out of nowhere and you'd be like, oh, I'd have to back up and like, oh, it was there was a lot of jump scare ambushes and it's like 2 or 3 at a time and you're like, oh crap.
Oh snap.
It was awesome though.
What say you there, Edward?
I like the sneaking in and trying to take people. I haven't played enough RPGs to really know. So when I thought of that, I thought of like Far Cry freeing an outpost, but I know that's not really an RPG game. But
Persona was an RPG.
Yeah.
A JRPG. What was the fight system on that?
It was mostly you go up to the boss and you see a bunch of people there and you just go in and you can either avoid them or you can go hit them and start the fight.
Oh, okay. You don't like that?
I guess that's all right. There were a couple of the surprise ones and it just kind of made me like, oh, come on. I'm trying to go over here. Now I got to fight. So I prefer the one where I approach them.
Okay, there you go. Chris?
I tend to lean a little more towards like Ed, the ones where that's my game plan. I'm going to go here and I'm going to do the thing. But I don't mind throwing in the occasional, like, I didn't expect that fights. But I think I prefer the other ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
Sweet. And Tim, you say you like them jumping out.
Yeah. Let's have them jump out as long as my gun's reloaded or whatever weapon I have is ready to go. Otherwise, that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Brian Nebel, how about a dad joke I came up with?
Oh,
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Some ants from Rome crawled into some toxic waste and turned into mutant ants. Later on, they decided to make a band and became very popular. They are known today as My Chemical Romance.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That is
Played, Neebs.
Oh,
well
Neebs.
played.
I love you,
My
man.
Chemical Romance.
That is brilliant. Well
That's
played. Oh, I
is
love
good.
that.
That's amazing.
That's
We did
really
have
good.
We did have a dad joke from Chad Fackler left on our Facebook
it did?
today.
Uh-oh.
It said, if you boil a funny bone, it becomes a laughing stock.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom says, that's humorous.
That's humorous. Yeah.
No.
I love it.
A little addition.
Love it. My Chemical
I like it.
Romance. Brilliant, Neebs. Well done. All right,
Neebs,
we got
that's
two
a
more.
good joke, buddy.
I
A
do
lot of
like that
build-up,
one.
but that punchline was worth it.
Yep.
We got two more to wrap this up. Chad Fackler. So with Black Friday right around the corner, is there anything you wait to buy during that time, either for Christmas gifts or just something for the family or home?
Yes, it's usually when we buy our appliances, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Right.
if we want a
Exactly.
new fridge.
That's when I bought my
or-
TVs.
Yeah, or a new washer and dryer or something like that. We usually wait till Black Friday. Try to hold out.
Nice.
I don't know
Yep.
what I'm going to buy this year. Probably
Yeah.
an Oculus Quest.
That
You
sounds.
think they'll be on sale?
Hey, you and me, brother. Let's
They've
do it.
got to go
Let's
on sale, right? They've been out most of the year.
How long have they been out?
I
Just
think
this
they
year?
came out in March or May, something
I
like
think
that.
Lem said since May. Yeah, May or something like that. Yeah, so they might be due. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Ed?
I don't have anything specific I look for. I'll usually just check Amazon and see if they have like dots for sale. Those dots make great gifts.
Oh, the Amazon dots. Oh,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Echo,
Oh, yeah. I
Echo
had
dots.
no idea what you were talking
Yeah.
about.
Me
The
either.
Echo Dots. Yep.
Echo Dots. Yeah,
Gotcha.
those are great presents. I bought my mom one of those. The stand-up one, the big long ones
Oh, nice.
Right.
last year. Mm-hmm.
It was like we had like a white elephant gift party that we went to last year, and it was like a $20 limit. So we brought an Echo Dot, and it
That's
was just funny to watch
perfect.
everyone fight over it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. 'Cause
perfect.
it's not usually $20.
Right?
Mhm.
What say you, Christopher?
I like to wait, and if you're getting low on your subscription service like PS Plus or Game
nice.
Pass or something like that, look for a deal around those times. That's typically the thing I'm hunting for the most. Is like, all right, stock up on a couple years and have this in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the cheapest you've seen those?
I've seen PS Plus for $40. I think I've seen it for $35 one time on a really
Because
crazy
it's $40
deal.
now. It's like $38.
Is it?
I put it on Twitter. Yeah, it's $38 right now.
So yeah, it's usually around those, and then I guess Game Pass. I don't really know because I didn't look into it last year, but I used to look to say kind of a similar deal with Xbox Live. Although now it just makes more sense to get Game Pass Ultimate. I think.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. Mine is till
Awesome.
2021. It looks like
Ooh, yeah.
I just-
Nice.
Mine is too.
I must have
Mine's-
just paid for mine over summertime. Yep.
Yep. All right. Greek gamer.
Oh
Nick
wait, Tim,
Huntress.
do you usually buy anything?
Oh,
You're just saying
yeah.
just
Sorry.
TVs.
I've been on a Black Friday lull for the past few years, but I remember getting like for a TV, if I needed to get a new TV, I would usually wait around that time too. It's either that or Super Bowl is the best time to get a TV.
Interesting.
And then if there's games that I haven't played throughout the year and they go on sale, I'll usually try and nab them.
Oh,
There you
nice.
go.
But nothing crazy. But you're right. Like for an appliance, I think we got like a washer and dryer set at one point on a
Mhm.
Black Friday or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
way
It
cheaper.
really is the best. Yeah, it's the best time to go. All right, last one. Greek gamer Nick Huntress. Some real talk tonight, brothers. What is your best advice for dealing with a difficult manager/supervisor at work? Oof.
That's always so hard. It is. I did have something like that on the road. I would say, and listen, it's a pride killer, right? When somebody's difficult, you're not going to get them to not be difficult. So it's on you really to create an environment into which you are not wanting to pull your hair out. Yeah. What I did was I dug and dug and dug until I found something that we had in common. And then I would talk to that person about that. And in this case, it was motorcycles. I hadn't had a motorcycle yet, but I was really interested in getting them. And so I would talk to this guy about motorcycles, and it really helped our overall relationship because even though he was super hard to work with, we at least had something in common that we could talk and laugh about. And I ended up buying a motorcycle, and then we went riding together a couple times. And so, man, you got to drop your pride, find that thing, and just let that be your home base. That's what you go to. You know what I'm saying? If it's,
I like that.
If it's a television show, if it's gaming, if it's movies, whatever, and just, you got to wear it into the ground. So, Lost. That thing was crazy, wasn't it, the way that ended? Yeah. Whatever it is.
Something.
Ed?
Yeah, I like that a lot, man.
It's hard because there are so many different reasons and levels as to why you have a strained relationship with a manager. It can be anything from a quirk they have that annoys you to just something that they're just being blatantly wrong about.
Yep.
And so it's kind of a mix. I've worked at enough jobs where I've had people where I couldn't morally agree to be there because of what was happening.
Oh wow.
And I just had to leave.
Oh wow.
And I've also been in the spot where you are, Gabe, where I just had to try to meet them where they are.
Yeah, buddy.
And so it really depends on the situation and what you can do. So I don't have like a blanket statement answer. I think just try, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't think there is a blanket answer because it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Is it a work related, like he's not giving you the right tools that you need to work efficiently and effectively? Like if that's the case, man, then that's just a communication thing. Just be like, listen, I can't do my job unless you give me the tools that I need to do this.
Yeah.
And so there's so many different factors there. Obviously the communication side, like just making sure you're on the same page. But Gabe, I love what you said, man. Find that commonality. And
that's good.
Because usually that goes a long way. And I think that they'll remember that in the long run.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Chris, what say you?
Honestly, Gabe's answer is probably the best one.
Yeah.
The best way to approach it. I'm fortunate that I really have not been in a situation hardly ever where I had a boss that I didn't like. But I also, Gabe's advice is the best, but I'd go and I'd call him out on it and be like, hey, this is, no, not in front of people, but I'd pull him aside or go into, an office or a room or schedule a meeting or whatever and be like, all right, this is what I'm seeing and how I feel. Let's talk this out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeesh.
And that's not always
that's
not
the best because grown man stuff right there.
And it's not even it's not even just like because I wanted to have the conversation necessarily, but it's like you have to kind of know that or feel like you somewhat know that person because that's not going to be the right approach for everybody. But I feel like you can kind of pick up on those people that like they'll at least respect that you brought it to them kind of thing. Because sometimes people really don't understand how they're coming across and the way that they're being.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like you can usually figure out the ones that they know.
Yep.
And then if you call them on it, a lot of times they aren't expecting that. And so that throws them off and then you can start moving around. But I honestly feel like Gabe's way is way better.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. We are out of time. Thank you everybody for all the questions. Completely appreciate it. That was some good stuff.
Woo. Yeah, it was. The question for you guys is, who do you get to talk to about gaming IRL in real life? We all have our communities. We have this amazing community here, and we get to talk to you guys. I get to talk to these guys all the time, but off of the podcast, off of the PlayStation, off of Twitter, who in your life do you get to talk gaming with and shout them out? We'd love to hear who your gaming community is outside of this community. Ed, we know that you're with the Tapmans a lot.
Yeah.
Is that who you get to talk to about gaming?
Yeah, it's Sarah and the Tapmans.
Sarah and the Tapmans. Chris?
Stacy and Katie and Kale of Katie and Kale fame, and
the Meeks.
Now my coworkers.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your coworkers are gamers nowadays.
Yeah, they mostly talk about Switch games. I'm like, I don't have one of those yet. But
they're like, well, get on it.
yeah,
You're like,
literally,
like,
almost every day I get like, you gotta get a Switch.
Yeah, man.
Working on it and paying them bills first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tim, who do you get to talk to gaming with?
I got nothing. I got nobody.
It used to be Ribbo, right? You used to get to go to Ribbo.
Yeah. There's one or two guys that I still talk to occasionally about it, but a lot of the times it's just like, oh, I'm so excited about this game. Let me tell Gabe, Chris, and Ed. Right.
Mine is obviously we've talked about him. We talked about him a little bit today. Road Crew, my Road Crew. Serta, Gonzo, Neebs. I gotta say, big shout out to Serta. Serta was at some thing and got a freaking Call of Duty copy and gave it to your boy. And so I got blessed with a Call of Duty. I was gonna buy it, but we had some things come up this last month, and so I couldn't. And so it was a huge blessing for your boy. And so that's how me and Chris were playing Gunfight tonight. So those three guys I can always sit around and talk gaming with. And Gonzo's a D&D guy, and so I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, so it's interesting for me to talk to him about that and ask questions. I have converted some people on the road. There's a couple Switches on the road now, so
nice.
We get our Mario Kart on. But as far as just talking gaming, there's a guy named Seth that plays for a group called Skillet. He's a guitar player. He's a big video game guy, and so me and him can chop it up. And then the guy, his name is Jason Barton, and he is the speaker for Food for the Hungry on tour with us. And he's a little bit of a gamer, so me and him can
very cool.
back and forth a little bit. So
well done.
Yeah, so I got a couple people in my life. I don't go as deep
awesome.
with them as I get to with you guys, obviously. But
right.
Of course.
Save that for the professionals. I mean, come on.
Exactly right. So let us know who in your circle you get to talk to about gaming and just all that's going on with it. And we will shout them out next week and show some love, because it's that time of year, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around here, but I'm ready for this turkey first.
There you go, man.
Gobble gobble.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for listening. 370 in the books. 373 in the books. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we are up out this thing. Bam!